in there. Lil' mama a thot, and she gon' f*** a bag. Pull up to the spot, living too fast, dropping the dope in the stash. In Italy, got too far, they DM me. Draw the top.
Hands together one time. I love Fridays. You all right, Cut? You good back there? You good? Listen, our special guest just walked in, and listen, Women Are Dope. Our show is really, really good, especially when we have dope women that do dope things. And people always ask, what do you look for, the qualities in a dope woman? And you know what? When I'm dealing with people like Mimi and Shantae, I really don't have to look really far.
That's right, because their dopeness.
Their dopeness just, it exudes, it exudes. Right. So without further ado, put your hands together one time for my girl, Treiva Williams.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody.
Hey.
Good morning.
Looking fly.
Hey.
Hold on now. Okay, she's lit.
I like that.
We like, okay.
Come on, huh?
Look,
That's a whole thing. That's a whole
Fruition Custom Hat Company.
With the mink nail cut. Come on now, friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, we try to keep it cute. We try to keep it cute.
You got to. Listen, well, welcome to the show. I'm excited to talk to you, get into what you do. I looked at your resume, and the first thing when I saw certified transformational coach, life coach.
Yes.
I'm a life coach myself, so I understand. Yes. And when you put transformational in front of it, I was like, yeah, she's a paradigm shifter.
Yes.
You're a paradigm shifter.
That's who I am.
I already understand where this is going.
That's who I was created to be.
Come on now. Come on now. Hold on. You came for my job.
Listen, no, I have not. But everybody knows their mission and purpose. You know what I'm saying? I'm called to create, administrate, facilitate the dreams and visions of others. I am a dougenary. When y'all seeing it, I'm doing it. That's who I am.
Dougenary.
There's visionaries, but I'm a dougenary. If you see it, I can help you do it.
I'm a pimpinary.
Come on now.
Okay.
There was another life I lived.
Listen, we've all been delivered. But listen, before we get into the meat of our conversation, we got to break you in. Me and Cut always ask 3 questions.
All right.
Now, here's the thing. With these questions, you got to answer the first thing that comes to your mind. You can't think about it.
I ain't never scared.
Okay, then.
Shaking your head.
She ready.
I'm from that 9. I'm from that lower 9, huh?
Okay.
We don't
mind. Go ahead
mind.
and lay around one time?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, here we go. Favorite position?
Doggy.
Well, all right.
There we go.
All right, second question. If you could have been in any other career field, what would it have been and why?
Actress.
Okay.
And why? Because I'm interested in people.
Okay.
So getting to be other people, and I feel like in acting, I would be able to even deeper study people.
So you like psychological thrillers?
No, yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes,
you
I do. I like a
people's
good.
Heads.
I do. I like that. I don't like slashy slash movies.
No, but the ones that make you think, real.
I want to know why you're
Outside of
crazy.
the
I'm
dark.
interested. I'm here for it. I need to know why.
I need to know why.
Yeah.
All right, third question. If you have any celebrity crush, who is it? Could have been from any time you were a child or now. Who would it be? And what about them do you like or did you like the most?
Okay. Because he right here, like in the corner, right in my right corner. But the crazy thing is now, like me and his wife are the bestest of friends. She's one of my great bestest friends, and I love him and respect him. But I'm a woman of a certain age, and that LL Cool J.
Okay. Shout out to LL on our back wall over here.
Used to do it for me. And now he's just my brother. You know what I mean? I love him. Shout out Simone. You know what I'm saying? Keeps me laced with my boss necklace and all of those things. Right. Okay. Simone is a warrior. She's amazing. But yeah, you know what it was. I mean, I was born. I was a 70s, 80s baby. Yeah. I was rocking the dope chain. I wanted to be somebody around the way. Girl.
So you was a roundaway girl. You had the bamboo earrings and everything. Listen now, look at Treiva in the video. Put your hands together one time. She just answered all 3 of our questions. Very good job. Very good job. Thank you. Now it's time to dig. You ready?
Let's dig.
You ready, Cut?
Yeah,
so listen, I gotta go through your titles real quick because I think that it's a disservice if we don't tell people who you are. So you are the recipient of the 2013 Stellar Women of Gospel Awards, associate producer for Blessed and Cursed, executive producer for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, exec producer Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta, supervising Mary, senior producer Marriage Boot Camp, just to name a few, in R&B Divas Atlanta.
Yes, and all that was in the beginning. Nowadays, I am the executive producer. I'm in-house at Paramount, Viacom, CBS.
Okay.
And I am what is called a series executive producer. So I am over the creative of shows like Black Ink.
Okay.
So I run all the cities of Black Ink, New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles.
Wow.
Before that, worked my way up and was an executive producer for the Love and Hip Hop franchise with Mona Me Productions. Shout out to my very best friend, Mona Scott the Young.
Hey.
But I was the producer that started with her, that started the city Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. I did that for 6 seasons and then moved around. But yes, I've been in television since 2011. Since
Wow.
the end of 2011.
Have you
Yes.
always had a passion for TV and film, or did you kind of fall into it?
No, I kind of I won't say fell into it because I'm very, now that I, retrospectively and look at my intentional road. So intentionally and who I'm created to be, I'm an administrator by nature, right? I'm a person that puts things together.
Yeah.
So I started off in the military at 17 to
Really?
25 as an administrator. That my duty station, my last duty station with my first husband and we got out was Fort McPherson, which is now Tyler Perry Studios.
Wow.
I was administrator there. Then I got into corporate America here in Atlanta, and I was an executive assistant at a couple of big advertising agencies. Ended up being an advertising exec.
Wow.
Advertising at that time in the early 90s was starting to synergize with music. Especially we had what was called African American community marketing.
Okay.
Which means I was over in charge of the black people stuff.
Okay,
So
the proper term for it.
yes. So they started, Coca-Cola and the Sprites and the McDonald's wanted to start to synergize with the up and coming Atlanta music scene. And I moved to Atlanta in 1993 when I got out of the military. So, things were popping.
Yeah.
And I started synergizing with people. We were looking for people. I, worked with Shaka Zulu, who put me in touch with, when Ludacris was Chris Lover and Pooh Daddy. Yes. All back then. Shout out to my girl Sugar, who did that little riff. She used to do
Listen,
that.
that's legendary.
Yeah,
You just say that.
but so that went from accounting, from executive administration to accounting exec, and then starting to deal with music people. Then I started doing, being around the music guys, and I'm seeing them, and that is how I met my current husband of today. Because yes, I had a previous husband, and now my current husband of today, which is my last husband in life. We've been together. It'll be 25 years. Come on,
Congratulations.
marriage.
Black love.
Thank you. 27 years together.
I love hearing that.
Thank
Yay.
you. But I started helping him and his crew. They were working. My husband and his team wrote "Freak Me, Baby, Lose Control," all of that kind of
snap.
stuff.
Did they write that about you?
He didn't know me, but he knew I was coming.
In the spirit.
In the
He's coming.
spirit, because
In
I'm
the
his
spirit.
only wife.
You know what I mean? He knew his rib was around the way.
I'm his only wife. I always tell him, we always say that. He said, "Girl, you my only wife," and I said, "You my last husband."
Listen,
Right. I know that's
I like the way you put that.
But advertising went to music, then music in the 2000s started evolving into television. In between that time, my husband and I came to know the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And then we got into gospel music industry because our son at the time was like 12 or 13, and he got his first recording deal,
Wow.
a double recording deal with EMI Gospel and Forefront Music, and he became a teen sensation in the gospel music community. He hated it, but people used to call him the gospel Bow Wow. But he was 13, beautiful long hair. He did hip hop,
That's
but he
what's
did
up, though.
Atlanta
Yeah.
style. His Christian hip hop was very Atlanta style.
Okay, so it was breaking barriers.
We did Mega Fest. We toured the world with the Kirk Franklins and Mary Mary, which is how I got to know Mary Mary. Then as my son transitioned out of that, when he got to be 18, 19, I moved to LA and said, at 41, I was like, I want to be a producer. I didn't know how and what that was going to be, but family friends of ours are Will and Jada. And Jada said to me when we would be around them in LA, she was like, "You're a producer." And I was like, "No," because producing
She
to
saw it in
me
you.
was chaos. I thought creative people were, it just meant
All
chaos.
over the place, yeah.
And I'm not chaotic. So I
Yeah.
was like, I don't think that's
I'm a
me.
little bit more organized.
She said, "No, let me tell you." She said, "What you do and how you," because I was at the house, we were staying at the house, and I was getting my son's tour together. And she would just watch. She said, "No, she said, that's producing." She said, "I'm telling you, it's there." And so it was something that she said, and for some reason it just kind of sparked something in me, but I wasn't at the mental, emotional place to believe that I could be that for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And it was like a secret thing that I didn't
When I
say out loud or pray out loud.
because you were speaking into.
But God heard me. And at 41, working full-time ministry in Houston, I was like, I'm going to move to LA. And I knew one person, kind of, sort of, my best friend, Tasha Smith. She was like, "Come through, let's go." And I, and then I was ended up working with a lady, Holly Davis Carter, who was managing Mary Mary, and I was helping her run her business, and she did television and film. That's how I associate produced a couple of the gospel films, and so that was my world in the ministry kind of world. And then Mary Mary got a television show.
Yes.
2011.
I remember that.
And these television producers and production companies weren't used to working with musical talent. And that's a difference, right? So because getting a reality show about like a teen mom and those people that are every day.
That's way different than
dealing with somebody that already has a name established and da 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 da. So they couldn't speak to them. And then when you add black and ministry,
that's a whole nother layer.
A whole other
so
thing.
You can't use the same techniques that you use.
So I was working for Mary, but I was like,
trying to be the liaison and bridge.
And then so this lady said, she said, that's a job. She said, you know what you do is called, that's producing, it's talent producing. And I was like, really? She said, yeah. And I was kind of sort of on the show because they wanted me on the show and I really want to be on the show. But I was like, okay, so I'll do some scenes with y'all. Will you give me a credit for that? She says, absolutely. So my first 2 seasons, and then next thing I know, about the 3rd season, I was supervising producer, working full time on the show, helping to create the narrative and the creative that went forth. And then a friend of mine, Phil Thornton, shout out to Phil, music exec, television exec, was doing R&B Divas, and they were on their 2nd season. He said, I need you. Because again, they were having the same problem. You had legends like the Angie Stones, the Shantae Moores, and all of Lil Mo, Monifa, and all of these. And, you know, clear people didn't necessarily understand
how they work,
and understanding the fact that you can't deal with a Kiki Wyatt and
a
Nicole,
deal with
and Nikki from that had done Brownstone and stuff like that. You can't deal with them like that. Like they have given already to this earth. They have left. When they're long gone, they have left musical legacy, and you have to deal and navigate with them in a certain way. And so that's so I created a niche for myself in understanding talent and understanding how to get what I needed from them story wise, and then also give them what they needed and build this relationship. And really learning people and understanding people, then that's kind of how life coaching came into because as you're dealing with talent artists, it is about my job is to whatever I have to do to get you to the stage.
Yes.
That is my job, and that's what I have to do for you physically or emotionally. What do I need to get you to be? And so, working with different people, I started studying more and understanding and hearing them. And you're talking to an artist or a talent about what they want, and then it's like, okay, well, do it, and these are the steps that you need to do it, and then holding them accountable when they don't, and those kind of things. So that's how my transformational life coaching came into being. It's all in the mix. But I say that to say, like, every part of me from the beginning, it all started with administration. Yeah. And every line of it is a through line to who I am. It just really, really is. And so that's kind of my journey. So now here I am, pandemic hit, and life is shut down. People, and one of the shows I was working at, I went through some turmoil because of just some black stuff was going on that shouldn't have been going on.
Black stuff.
And then they and then my name was spoken in a room that I didn't even know people knew my name in that room. And I got a call from an exec that worked, I'd worked around VH1 for years, but I had never worked directly with this person. And he called, and I've now been, under contract, and they offered me a position, and basically I created the position that I have. And that is to, again, liaison between the production company, the the network, the talent, and all of that, and all of us work in concert. So I'm really proud of what I've done on Black Ink. Black Ink, it was what it was, and it is what it is. Black Ink, Black, and what I love about Black Ink is they gonna Black Ink.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
To the team.
But I feel like what we do is that what wasn't happening for them prior to season 9 when I took over was there was no elevation and evolution of who those people were. You know what I mean? We all have that in us.
Yeah.
I'm still a chick from New Orleans. You understand what I'm saying to you? I don't care what happens. I'm still a chick from the lower 9th ward of New Orleans. I rep that. I'm that all day. But there is evolution and elevation that has occurred in me. Right? So there's layers. There's more to me. There's more of me that comes out of that, right? And, I'm a woman of God. So I tell everybody, my thing is I'm God and gumbo.
Okay.
It's what it is. That's what rules my life. That. But in Black Ink, they weren't showing. Wasn't an elevation, evolution wasn't happening. It wasn't being depicted. And so that was my purpose coming in, and it was to get them to retrust the process and come in and elevate and show their evolution and tell stories again, like we talked about in the beginning. I'm not mad if you mad. I just need to know why you're mad. Fuck, I might want to pick a side.
That's big.
I might be on your side,
big
but I don't know if I don't. You just come in screaming and shit. What's happening? Okay, well, right, bitch. I think you right.
You right.
You right. I'm on your side. But I need to know that, right? And I tell my talent, combat I mean, conflict isn't combat, just like resolution is not a hug.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you learn that, like, if we and you beefing, I ain't gotta fight you. We just beefing.
It's
like,
just beefing.
I don't do you, you don't do me.
Yeah.
Just like when I sit down and I say, we need to resolve this, the resolve could very well be when I get up and walk away from here, I don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
So when you
real.
see me, don't say nothing to me.
Yeah.
Ain't no active beef. We ain't got to fight or nothing when we see each other.
We good.
But
yeah.
we good. I'm not good with you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, and we can like, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm really good. And I'm really good at going back to the day before I met you.
Yeah. See, I love that right there. You know, that was I need to take a break. Sorry,
y'all.
We'll be back in a minute. We're on
Sorry, y'all.
I had to reshift my ponytail. Yeah, no, but I love that.
Hey, you locked and loaded with 101 TKO Radio. Knocking them out the box, you feel me?
T-Money the body bag. That's what I'm calling her because she just came swinging. Listen, it's very rare that I have a chance. Like, I love all my people that come on air. But when I get a chance to get poured into just from hearing another woman talk, especially being a young black female in this industry, listen, we appreciate women like you because you encourage us in just existing to really stand for something. So what I want to get into is I was on a panel the other day and we were talking about the difference in men and women in the industry and media. And I was saying women got to take a different route and a little bit more tact. So in your opinion, what is the difference between a man's approach in the industry versus a godly woman's approach in the industry?
I think our approach has to be awareness of our voice, right? And being aware of the power of our voice. And when you're aware of the power of your voice, you are careful in how you use it. You are definite to never lose it, but you are careful to use it. Sometimes especially if we've gone through a period of life where we have had to find our voice, sometimes we overbear with our voice.
Yeah.
And again, you know, life is just what it is. There are a lot of unfair double standards, but they exist. And to try to navigate life as if they don't is a fool's gamble, right? The rules for women and men are different.
Yes.
The rules for white women and black
Come
women
on now.
are different.
They are.
The rules are different. Understand the rules and go through them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we try, like, I understand that the power of my voice is that I don't have to say everything I'm thinking.
Yeah.
In that way. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's 1,000 ways to
deliver what I
boil a
need.
pot. You understand what I'm saying? To
Yeah.
you, like, you don't have, like, so when you understand the power of your voice, then you know how to use it.
Yes.
You know when to preserve it and all of those kind of things. And I think for women, that is what we have to do
Knowing that.
in the industry. Like, a man can come in here and he could be, you know, he
can say
like all the stuff
whatever.
Diddy
Yeah.
does, right? I love Diddy. Diddy get on the thing, he fucking Friday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to work.
That's true.
He could do all of that.
Yeah. Let us do it.
Can't nobody, no.
Yeah, she angry.
Yeah, she
aggressive.
angry. Ooh, she
doing too much.
entitled.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. We have to use our voice differently. We have to be sure not to lose it, but we must be wise in how we use it and understand that the power of our words, because women were very methodical, right? The power comes in the things you don't say. Because I could answer you back.
Yeah.
But my nurturing side of me has, as a woman, kicks in to be like, even when I'm right there with you, I still have to care enough about you not to end you with my words.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like women, we're the species we that's a unique power for us.
Yes.
And as a black woman, we have it to the 10th power. So our stomp has to be different.
See, and a lot of people don't realize that we do have to actually learn the industry,
Yes.
learn the rules, and you can't just pop out like that.
Yeah.
So how often do you come across talent that you feel like you got to sit them down and be like, hey, look, I need
Every
you
day.
to... For
Every
real?
day, every scene, every shot.
What is it like dealing with all these reality shows from a healed standpoint? Because I'm a firm believer, to do good business, you got to do a lot of healing.
Yeah, it is. Well, for me, it is what I go into it looking for myself and other people.
Wow.
Whether I have, even if I've never been through what you've been through, I believe I can always find a version of myself in anyone. That's woman
true.
or man,
Yeah,
right? I can
yeah.
understand that. And even if I can't, I lead with empathy, right? And for me, as a producer, no matter what the show, no matter what the pay, if I cease to be able to tap into you empathetically from a human point, I can't produce you.
Really?
Yeah,
Because that takes away my ability to even work with you
yeah,
and
because
see you.
when you are because my measure of producing is based on heat, heart, and humor. That's what life is made of. You know, heat, heart, humor, but all's got to be founded in humanity, right?
Okay.
And if I lose that humanity side of you, when you're going through something heartfelt, I can't feel
I can't
you.
connect with you.
When you heat it, I have no understanding for it, and so I just label you angry, right? And when it's humorous, I'm laughing at you, not with you. If I don't have a human
that heart,
thing
that
for you,
yeah.
if I don't
can't
have
feel
that,
you.
then I can't produce. Very rare. There's only about a couple. There's only about a couple of talent in my history that I just like. Yeah, I can't produce you because I don't have it for you.
Wow. And I think people don't realize that you have that power to say, hey, look, I can't do this for you because everybody's not cut out for
Listen,
these
it's a special
roles.
breed. It's a special breed. I tell, listen, my hat's off to every talent I've ever worked with on every show. They are unique individuals. Everybody can't do that. I know everybody sit at home and they making the comments from their couches and stuff and think it ain't what you think.
Yeah.
Giving, and even, everybody wants to say it's fake. It's not. Those people are really being who they are in whatever situation and scenario we put them in.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe they wouldn't have went on an all-girls trip to this island, but what they are, and while they're there, they're being themselves. And to be able in this day and age
to really be transparent in yourself to the fullest.
allow yourself to be seen in that way, time after time, is a very unique gift. And I pay homage to that. I honor it. I don't care how frustrated I get, how whatever. I honor the people that are willing to do it. Because again, be clear. I'm not on TV because I can't be. I just don't want to be.
That's real.
You understand?
That's real.
I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
She's not gonna.
Yeah.
She's not gonna keep having the same meetings and lunches. Okay. I'm not even gonna do what I require of my talent to do.
That part.
No, I mean, she's not gonna do it. We're gonna talk about this once, and I'm done. You know, it's all of that. But so they are a unique group of people that, you know, it's not what you think. It's hard. You know, you're told to hold your emotions. No, wait a minute. I know you're mad about today, but I can't get to that till Tuesday.
Wow.
You know, because we're not a document. You know,
Exactly.
I'm not feeling documentary
So they
style.
have to hold that. You got to.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes
So
they
that
do.
would explain the big pop-offs that
Yeah.
we see. Like,
Sometimes they do. Or by the time I get to interview you, right? I'm interviewing you and your girl was cool. But by the time I interview
Y'all
y'all done
beef.
fell out. But I got to tell you, but I know you was mad today, but when we filmed this, she wasn't mad. Could you act like you like her and talk sweet about her and her baby? Because that's what I need. Because I've got to do these
I
interviews.
got this whole thing.
You know
Yeah,
what
we got a plan. This
you know what
treatment
the
go.
mental mind feel and emotional mind fuck that can be to
Yeah,
somebody?
that's real.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. So you have to, the right people have to be in play. My mission in life, you know, because she on the downslide, she ready to top. She is ready to sit down.
No,
Oh no, she's ready. She's ready. She's got
She
5 more
ready.
years. She's got 5 more years in 5.5. I'll be 55 in May.
come on, hand clap one time for the black girl magic.
55.
When I
Get
turn
into
60
it.
though, I swear for God, I will not be giving no beats in the street at 60.
I
No,
need you
it's not gonna happen.
on your 60th birthday. I need you here so I can be like, so you done?
She's finished.
She's finished.
She's
All
going
right,
to be
she's
finished. But in my time, I'm very purposeful about wanting to raise up producers to come up behind me, and especially producers of color, because we lead. You know how we do. Whatever arena we get into, we lead it. We blow it up.
Yeah.
But we need us. And our types of us in positions
Yes.
that understand us, that know how to light us, know how to prep us,
Yeah.
know how to edit us.
Motivate-
We don't
yeah.
just need producers, we need editors, we need cameramen, we need
Come on now.
we need to be able to see ourselves. And I'm telling you, it does something for people that are already being very vulnerable to walk into a room and see themselves. Like, okay, maybe they'll get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's all of it plays a part.
A big part.
Yeah.
So what do you feel has been your biggest accomplishment just thus far? Because I feel like the list is humongous, but we want to know to date.
To date, I would say sustainability.
Sustainability.
And I am proud that I have sustained myself in this industry when I had zero background, because when I look at my counterparts that share the same title as me, most of them started back in the MTV days and and they know post and they don't do that. I don't have that experience.
Wow.
But I've been able to sustain myself and create my own lane, and that's what I'm most proud of.
So for your journey that you've gone throughout, do you feel that there's a big difference in the talent now versus the talent maybe a few years ago?
Yes.
Because I feel like we're in a very sensitive society.
We're very
and everybody's
sensitive.
hurting in their own way.
We're in a very sensitive society, and we're a very know-it-all society.
Come on now.
So everybody's sensitive about everything, but everybody know everything.
Yes.
Which
Loud and wrong.
just strong and wrong. Just don't go together.
Strong and wrong.
And then, especially when you come to reality TV, so now people, because talent have gone on and said out of frustration, they're saying, oh, they edit me this and they fake storyline. So now people at home learn buzzwords and feel like they think they know what it is, right?
Ooh,
So
like
then
toxic.
yeah. So because like storyline, like I just want to break this down. Everybody has a storyline. You have to have a storyline. If you don't have a storyline, you won't be on television. The only thing that storyline means is that what section or portion of your life are we going to cover from this start A to the ending point B. That is what a storyline is. It's not a negative. It's not a bad thing.
It's just a
doesn't
map
mean
of where we're going to go
fact.
with this thing.
It doesn't mean fake. It just means this is where we're going. We got to
Right.
know where we're going. Again, we're not a 24-hour doc. And then again, some reality shows play pretty good, but don't nobody play that good where you should be giving 100% of yourself to anybody for any price.
Okay.
Right? So let's make a decision on what version and portion of yourself are you going to give to us this season. And people get twisted with the word version. When I say versions of myself, that doesn't mean I'm fake. There's a version of me that
Right.
every person gets
Does not-
depending upon who they are in my life. When we started, my granddaughter called. The version
That's grand. Yeah.
the version
Totally
that
different than
I
working
have-
right now.
I have 9 grandkids. The version that they
What?
get of me is is completely different.
Lord.
The version my husband
Right,
gets, the
don't crack.
version my daughters get. There's different versions. All of those versions of me are authentically who I am.
Yes.
So I make a decision in every situation which version of myself shows up. Right? Like right now, Treiva's extroverted version is here because real shit,
You got
I'm an introvert.
that's real.
She likes to be alone.
I swear for I love being alone.
I'm an outside inside
you
person.
an
Understand what
so
I'm
you an
saying to me?
ambivert.
What?
You both of them.
Listen, both of them.
Both of them.
And most of the time,
I'm
I'm
the
the
other
inner.
one.
You understand?
That's
I
all
like
right.
being inside.
Listen.
And when I go outside, I'm all right being outside by myself.
Yes.
But I make a decision what version, but it's still me. It's who
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
I don't know how to talk no different, be no different. Treiva's what I got, so Treiva, what you gonna get? And so in that people, so coming in now, people, they think they know the buzzword, they think they know what's happening, and then they watch reality TV, so we'll get talent that come on, and they come on trying to give me what they think I want. Because they watch some past thing.
And they're
I was
trying
like,
to go off of
I was like, but what that got to do with you? Why is you reacting that? What are you talking about? Who are you?
right.
Who are you? And I get talent that, they look at, want to compare shows, but
That ain't you.
your show, what you do, what's happening with you?
Right.
How we bringing you out? Like it's different.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference, and that makes it a little trickier to navigate because you don't have necessarily the purity. And a lot of that is not just people at home watching TV's fault. A lot of that has been careless, dirty, non-integral producing that has gone on and still goes
Wow.
on. Listen, I tell people all the time, you're not gonna bump into a motherfucker like me every day.
That's real.
I'm a rare breed in producing. I know that, I understand that, and I respect that. I'm not always going to be your producer. And there may not always be a version of me out there, but I'm trying really hard to create as many versions of myself, of my way of producing as I possibly can. But this shit can be grimy.
Yeah.
It's not, that's like,
Yeah.
no, and any producer I try to tell you different is, no, it can be.
Yeah.
People do whack stuff. I have dealt with talent that have had extreme PTSD from
Really?
the things they've gone through. And I say to them, listen, anything, we all love a little razzle dazzle for TV, but like, don't injure yourself to do this. Or don't I have a lot of people that come to me, come from other shows. I said, though you're a great talent in TV, I am uninterested in you re-injuring yourself for the sake of a super trailer.
Oh my God.
Not emotionally a thing. Because I still need to be able to be okay with who I am and do that. There are, again, there ain't probably but a couple people
that you've had to.
What? They better not say nothing to me.
See
You
her face.
understand me? They better not say nothing to me.
Nothing.
If I see them,
On site.
because I'm not your producer no more, what you gonna meet is a woman.
Ugh.
Okay? You will not be meeting Treiva, your executive producer. You play with me,
It's a whole
you
nother-
gonna meet me, because we don't have no working relationship. And in this woman to woman, there's only like 2, 3 of them.
Yeah.
They know who they be.
Listen, I love that she is so real.
But
because
everybody
I feel like
else-
people always trying to tell you just be nice and fluffy. No, stand on who you are.
No,
Yeah,
because you
stand
gonna
on who you
listen. Don't
Yeah.
like I tell them, listen. Don't meet me in real life. You want to get this TV version of me.
I swear.
Oh,
You get a radio version all
you
day.
understand me?
Don't see me in the street.
But most of my talent, I have great relationship with talent that I've been worked with years ago. I did first season of Marriage Boot Camp. Some of those kids still, Facebook me, hit me, let me know what's going on in their life. They're having babies. I have connections, again, very few that I don't have a connection with and have a relationship with, because I make sure to see them. When I'm on set, I give you whatever you need from me. And that's whether I got to get in your ass or I got to stop and pray for you. And I will do either one at any time.
Listen.
Whatever the situation dictates, to get you to come to yourself.
Listen, I just need y'all to really tune in, because the fact that, when people talk to me like, oh, you got radio, are you secular, a believer? I'm like, no, I'm walking in my purpose.
That's right.
So I'm always in position in
Always.
case I got to pray for you or cuss you out.
It's
either one of them, but you do have those options.
Both things are necessary.
Both things.
But I think like we were talking about faith in the world, like we do this thing, and it happens, where we if you're a person of faith and we relinquish our positions, we leave our post, and then we're on the outside wondering, Lord, why won't it change? Because you left.
Yeah.
What you leave for?
Yeah.
I never forget when my son was doing music back in the day, and there was a girl, she was at Hot at 107.9, and she was like she was like in charge of like the Summer Jam or whatever their thing was, and big position. She gets saved, she quits her job. She called me, I want to come work with her. I said, well, okay, well, we can put this together and done. And she says, well, I don't work at the radio station no more. I said, well, what I need? I said, well, what I need you for?
Did you deserve it?
I told her what I need you for.
You got.
I needed you on the inside. Well, now
stay on
you
your
an
base.
outsider like me.
Yeah, stay on your
now
base.
we both gonna be pitching to go back inside. You was already in there.
Supposed to stay in position.
Why you ain't stay there?
Right.
What is wrong with you? We just keep releasing.
That's
and
real.
I said, listen, when the FedEx man gets saved on Friday,
He's
bruh
still
is
gonna
still
deliver the
delivering that package.
Come on.
He not waiting for the holy post office to open up. He going back to work.
Come on now.
We keep leaving our positions. It's called marketplace ministry. Listen, I advise any
Come
y'all.
on now.
God rest his soul. Dr. Miles Monroe was a phenomenal, and to know him and love him personally, oh my God, the ways that man poured into our life. He helped my family understand who we were. Mm-hmm. Marketplace ministry, like you supposed to, go ye back. Go to ye back where the hell you come from.
Yeah.
And go back. Like, how's it gonna? I wouldn't know God the way I know God if somebody hadn't come to me. Mm-hmm. Somebody came into where I was at.
Mm-hmm. Discipleship 101.
That's all it is. Like, all it is. Christianese,
trying to act all,
and all of that. No, believe God and keep it going.
Listen, believe God and keep it going. 101 TKO Radio. And they go to second break, y'all. I tried to say something, but she just went ahead and laid it out. Believe God and keep going. We'll be back in a minute, y'all.
Yeah. Thank you.
I want all kind of shirts that look like she.
You gon' do that thing, more than please believe. If not, we'll make it hard for you cowards to breathe. One thing about it, Coach, keep some up the sleeve. You and Skip attack the boards while I pluck them with threes. Every stash spot I got, I stuff it with G's. Don't need a chain or whip to snatch me a free. I'd rather ride around in my hoop than blowing on with two in my lap up at 400 degrees. I don't rock with you right now. What clown? That's my goal. Say that shot, getting all y'all. Get on some my shit, smack all y'all. Probably get on that shit, all y'all. I ain't never talk sideways. I put you on the highway. How you sweating in the chicken coop like y'all Friday. Catching that know you had you running down the driveway. Trying to gun you down, shooting at you with that Kanye. West Coast, what's up? Y'all hear that know your clap? West Side, what's up? Wayne Y-N-Y-N-J, Philly, D-C-V-A, y'all hear that know your clap? East Coast, what's up? Y'all hear that know your clap? East Side, what's up?
I'm straight Holly, girl, you know that. OB, but I'm old school. Bishop Project, like a throwback. Now I told you, now you know that. You ain't welcome here. What? You ain't see I'm gone on my doormat, so stupid wide. You ain't abide by that. If I catch you on my porch, you gon' die by that. Right there, by them leaves. You can lie by that. On side of that dog doodle. You can dry like that, cause this is payback. For anyone who ever said that. Ever look, I'm safe for this. Don't get his or get his face. Get his look in my face. Look, this how that look. Look, if you deaf, look, I won't play with you.
Hey, you locked and loaded with 101 Radio. Knocking them out the box, you feel me? Like job where you stay. Tell them college ball, where they chop call. Hit 20 grand, spend $1 grand at the bar. Just about his own. J's on my feet. I'm on that Patron, so get like me. 69 cutlass with the bucket seats. Beat in my trunk, bought it just for the freaks. Catch me in the hood, posted at the stove. Took it in my lap on the phone, counting dough. If the girl choose, let her do a thing. Just like a mama, nice brain. Everybody love me, I'm so fly. Throw the deuces anytime I ride by. I know you wonder why I'm so cool. Don't ask me, just do what you do. Meet me in the trail, it's going down. Meet me in the mall, it's going down. Meet me in the club, it's going down. Anywhere you meet me, guaranteed to go down. Meet me in the
trail. It's going down. Meet me in the mall. It's going down. Meet me in the club. It's going down. Anywhere you meet me, guaranteed to go down. Verse number 2, do the thing. Cubes on my neck, pocket full of bitten frames. When I'm in the mall, walk just pause. I pop a few tags, give me that on the wall. Time to flip the work, make the block bump. Boys in the hood, call me Black Donald Trump.
You locked and loaded with 101 TKO Radio. Knocking them out the box, you feel me?
101 TK Radio. Taurus is in the building.
Taurus in the building. What?
Man.
Big Taurus
There you go.
energy.
That's all you wanted to hear.
And good, strong May Tauruses.
Strong,
Okay.
yes.
May Taurus.
There's a difference between the April
I
Taurus
was
and the
just
May
going to
Taurus.
say, an April Taurus, and now what, in your opinion, what's the difference?
May Tauruses, we tend to be really alpha, and yeah, we're less sensitive. It's a less,
Yeah. I love
April
that.
Tauruses are nicer.
They're nicer. Yeah, we're more like, this is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm nice. I'm not nice. I don't practice nice by nature. I'm kind.
Yes.
And there's a difference.
I like that.
But I'm not nice by nature. We
Thank you for
get up
saying
and tell
that.
ourselves, all right, Treva, we're gonna be nice today.
Thank you for.
We talk ourselves through it.
Listen.
Okay? We say, all right, Treva. They playing with you, but we gonna be
Yo,
nice.
I have all them conversations.
Yes.
I'm like,
talk to
Chelsea,
listen,
you gonna behave today
we're
now.
gonna be nice.
You're not gonna bite their head off.
It's not nice by nature. It's like this, it doesn't come to me like naturally. Again, because I'm a loner.
I love that. Yeah.
So it's like
You in my space.
you in my space, and I don't need it. I don't need you. And so I have to say,
Oh my goodness.
Treva, be nice. But I'm kind though.
Yeah, I'm kind.
Because I hate when people call me mean. No, I'm not.
No, I'm not
not.
mean. I'm not. I
Don't
just
like
don't fuck
you.
with everybody.
It's two things. I either don't like you or I don't know you.
Yes, yes, yes. Just use those two for real, for
I either
real.
do not like you or I do not know you.
And you gonna know if I don't like you too. I'm gonna let you know if I don't like you. You will not have to question that at all. We're gonna be very clear. And
Yeah.
and would you say that the older that you get, the more you evolve, the more you kind of lean,
The more
in-
resolute.
Oh my gosh.
I'm definite about who I am.
Yeah.
But even more about knowing who I am. The greatest gift is coming and understanding and being okay with who I am not.
Yeah,
There's a person I'm just not.
yeah.
I'm not a person that's a social butterfly. That's just not
That ain't you.
who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not a girly girl. I'm just not.
That's me.
I'm
That's me.
And I'm comfortable with that. And before, in a younger time, you try to
You try to move and be a
Dude,
chameleon,
you know what I mean?
and be
Chameleon
fluid.
and all this
yeah,
kind of thing,
yeah.
but no.
I'm good. I'm straight.
no, I'm all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And I love that you said that because I was talking to Cut the other day. I was saying, we were talking about radio and we were saying, what is it that makes you so good at radio? And I said, because I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't,
Right.
like, how you going to tell me how to be me?
Yes.
And the day that I realized the power and authenticity.
Yes.
And that's really being effective and potency at its finest.
Yes.
That's when I became my best. So for you, when all this is taken away, who is Treiva? What does your introverted routine look like when you're at home, like at the base of it?
At the base of it, it is when I'm in a quiet mood. It's curled up in the corner of the couch. Me and my granddaughter call it our comfy, cozy blankets, and I am watching some TV show that I love, or I'm reading. When I'm alone and I'm turned up alone, because I have my own party.
Listen, me too.
It is
Are you
me in the
creative?
mirror. I'm in the mirror dancing. No, I'm not. I'm not. That I'm not. I'm not really. That's my daughter's on May 19th, and
Okay.
she's super. She's gonna spray something.
Yeah.
Spray paint something.
That's me.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay for it to get it done. That's who I am. But I'm like dancing loud, singing to myself. I'm dancing to the drop of dime. That's me, and I'll do that by myself.
I love that.
So at the base of me, it's just by myself.
So normally I ask, how do you balance it all? But I don't feel a need to ask that. What does your balance look like? Because a lot of women get into this industry, and this panel was discussing how women think that you can't have a relationship and be successful at the same time. But I believe you can.
You can. What I feel about balance is that the balance comes in. I am intentionally focused on what I'm focused on in front of me. So if it is family time, then it's family time.
Yeah.
If it's work time, it's work time. There and learning later now, sometimes I'll mix the two, but even in mixing it, still putting the boundary of like, though we're remote work world. Okay, so yes, I will go on this family trip, but the boundary is there are certain times that I have to be engaged in this. And understanding for me, accepting that I can have it all, just maybe not all at the same time.
That's real. Yeah.
Not all at the same time.
Yeah. And I think timing is a big thing that we struggle with in this industry because, like you said, you had your life before and then you moved into it. And a lot of people don't understand that life will form you into the position you're supposed to be in.
Exactly.
So what do you think was your most epitomical moment where you was like, what I'm doing now is not working. I'm ready to try something new. What was that moment like for you, or the catalyst?
I don't know if it was a catalyst. I was in full-time ministry. I was working at a church in Houston, a real huge church in Houston, New Life Christian Church with Bishop Ivy Hilliard and his family. I was over like their helping with their marketing, their conferences and all of that. And they were building and expanding, right? And my identification, one of my identifications of who I am is in what I do. Like I identify, it makes me feel good to do a good job. I don't do a good job for others. I do it because it fulfills me and that's who I am.
Yeah.
So when I work for you or with you, you get the benefit of my character. It's really not about you. Because I'm gonna work like this regardless.
That's me. Yeah.
So and what happens is and when you're on the groundswell of something, so they were like changing and the ministry was changing and growing and the pastor had so many ideas. And in one moment we were having a big staff meeting and they were talking about doing something. And I was like, oh my God, if I don't leave now, I'm going to be woven into the fabric of this ministry and I won't be able to leave because I'm loyal.
Listen.
And I would never weave myself into something and then take a string and unravel the material. So it wasn't a big thing. We were just at a table talking about stuff, and I was like, I gotta go because this is not my set place.
Stop. Yeah,
I said this is not my set place. I am holding someone else's position. This is not mine, and I'm 2 clicks from missing my opportunity to go. And I just, felt the presence of God tell me that your grace for this place is lifted. And I'm really big on, I believe in God's grace. I move in His grace and His timing, and I'm like, I will not, even if I'm suffering. Or what I believe to be suffering, I will not move a moment before God's grace tells me not to.
Come on now.
But I'm also never going to stay a minute after He told me to leave.
Yeah.
When God says it's up, it's up.
You got to go.
And that's what I did. And that's what it was. So it literally happened. And I was like, clicked in and going to LA. And I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to move to Los Angeles. I gave myself a 5-year timeline. I really started producing within that same year, but then so I stayed in LA from 2009 to 2020.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Do you ever just sit back and look in awe
yes,
of
all
your
the
life?
time.
Because it's crazy how you start administratively, but one of the things that I know believers who possess is the power to create, because that's the power from the creator above. So when you have the ability to create, that's a direct connect, you know what I'm saying, from God Himself. So I know you've had those moments where you're like, God, you saw this way bigger.
Yes. No, He does. Like, listen, God, the retrospect, I know a lot of people's like, oh, don't look back.
No.
I say look back.
Yeah.
I get when I am unsure about mine right now, I look back. And when I tell you, especially, I didn't come to like be active in faith until I was like 29. So, you hear the story, I had a praying grandmother. I did. And it took me a minute. I had to think about that. Oh, my grandmother did pray all the time. And she probably was in there praying for me. But when I tell you, God has blessed me tremendously in a lot of ways. I have been healed twice from cancer. Twice.
Are you serious?
Yeah, 1997 and then again in 2016. I am here by the grace of God.
Lord have mercy.
My lasting effects of it have been, because of the treatment and all that, I was diagnosed with like multiple sclerosis. And I said, but that's a thorn in the side. His grace is sufficient for me. I'm alive. It'll be all right. But I look at, so God has done big things for me, but God has done really small
those
secret
intimate
things for me
that only you know in your quiet
space.
And
then secret, and sometimes to the outside world would be silly. So I tell you, I love to dance, right? So I'm older. There was a show back in the day called Solid Gold Dancers. And this lady,
Solid Gold.
You got a strip club in
Yeah.
What?
Y'all took God's good work in changed it.
Oh, Lord. We got a strip club in Jet.
It's called Solid Gold.
What's it
Was
called?
a dance show. It was a guy named Danny Terrio, and there's a
Sorry.
lady named there. Her name was Darcel Wynn, and she was a beautiful black woman, long. I mean, her braids hit the floor, but sis dancing go, she was all around. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, when I grow up, because you know when you're little, you think everything's still gonna be on TV.
Right.
When I grow up, I'm gonna go on Solid Gold dance and dance with Darcel Wynn. Silliness. I don't know what year it was, 1997, 98. I'm in church, I'm in ministry, and the pastor is talking about, that God gave him a revelation about dance ministry and bringing that into the church. Ooh. And then he selects,
Wait a minute now, Solid Gold.
Swear for God. You understand what I'm saying to you? Watch. So he, out from the back comes Darcel Wynn herself. And she was coming there to birth the dance ministry in the church I was yet seated in.
Are you serious?
And she looked, and she walked through the service, and she said, she picked me, she's picked people. She says, you've got it. Listen, don't tell me about God. Yes. God remembered.
He sent that
God
deep in your heart.
Remembered and brought me Darcel. I was like, ain't nothing but God. I've like different things like that. I've worked with Gladys Knight, and Gladys Knight I've always.
Oh, I know that was a phenomenal experience.
Midnight Train to Georgia, like I had a man somewhere, and I was lit.
I think we all did. We all did.
I'm like, ain't no way in the hell I should feel this way, but I felt that.
You was on a train,
and I was Gladys Knight supervising producer on her own special.
Wow.
When I tell you God is honoring me, just silly stuff.
But he puts those desires in your heart because they're aligned with the role you're supposed to play.
Yep.
So to even see that you didn't forget about little
You
old
didn't.
me. You did not forget
Walking
about me.
one day when my money was tight one time, and you want to bring the cupcake, with your kid's birthday, so you got to bring cupcakes to the school. And I literally had maybe $10, $12 walking in the Winn-Dixie. And I was at a different grocery store than was in my neighborhood. So you know your grocery store. So usually when I go to the left, it was the meat department. But in this grocery store, it was the bakery. So as I walked through the bakery, the lady gets on the mic and announces a 2-for-1 sale or buy the sale. I walked out of there because I knew I was going to have to tell my son, like, all I have is enough to get dinner for tonight that'll last us through the weekend. We'll have to do a makeup time for the cupcakes. I walked out of that store with hot dogs, pork and beans, bag of rice, hot dog buns, and 24 cupcakes for my baby.
The whole birthday party. Put your hands in. Listen, God will do it now.
No, the children would get my hot dogs. That was to feed my children and family. Now, the cupcakes was for the children at the school. The hot dogs and pork and beans and the rice was for us at the house. You have to make that stretch. You understand?
The pork and beans and
Nobody was no
rice?
birthday party. Yeah, the pork. What? You ever make them, girl? Pork and beans and rice and stretch it out? Yes.
That's true. That's
but the
really
cupcakes
fun.
was for the kids, so I was able to feed my family and then give my son just that little bit of joy.
And that's probably something he never forgot to this day. That was probably one of the most
I don't
special.
even think he knew.
So did you ever go back and say, hey?
I didn't have to tell him that I couldn't give him the stuff because God provided.
Yeah.
My thing is that I because this was shortly after I had been healed from cancer. So God was God. So I expect God to part the Red Sea, and heal cancer. But I didn't expect God to pay attention to the fact that I wanted to get my baby 24 cupcakes. And he did.
Wow.
So
So your whole experience in this industry, like God has really just been leading you. Because when you think of reality shows and things like that, you're not thinking about the people, the executive producers and the mind frame they're in and what they're really going through on the back end. So to sit down and have this conversation with you was like phenomenal because the fact that you even have God intertwined in marketplace ministry.
Yes.
Because when I look at TV and reality shows, I'm like, these people are it's a lot of broken people.
It's a lot of broken people.
It's a lot of unhealed.
And a lot of unhealed and a lot of unbroken, which we all are. We're just walking around all in this earth in this earth and place together. So it's just, again, I count it an honor to do what I do for who I get to do it for. I say all the time, I make good money off of people bad choices, but my responsibility in that is to help them, help them see themselves in a different way, during this time. Yeah. And where you starting, where you got to end up at.
Yeah, I know that's right. Well, my ex, he ended up in the trash, but that's a whole nother story. What do you think is the biggest misconception when it comes to reality? Because we hear shows like Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, we hear the Black Ink Crew.
Everything is fake. It's not all fake. Okay, let me break this down.
Please do.
We do scripted scenario.
Okay. Now, what about the fights?
See, thank you.
They want to fight.
Yeah, they really
Somebody hit you, they want to hit you.
Yeah.
So, when we look at
Let me just say this to y'all.
Come on now.
See your little teacup, right?
Yeah.
TV is a magnifying glass. People say these things. Oh, reality TV broke up my marriage. TV is a magnifying glass. If you hand me your teacup and it looks perfect, oh my God, this is beautiful. But then I put a magnifying glass
And
on,
I see all
there
the
are
little
cracks in there.
Oh wow.
You came to me with your shit cracked.
For real.
You knew your shit was
I didn't crack your thing.
But you want me to zoom in on it, and now you
Now you shocked that you see a
How,
crack.
Sway?
You,
You
that
knew
thing was
it was
cracked.
cracked.
I just didn't know your
I'm
thing
trying
was
to make
cracked.
money off of
It's
the
a
crack.
magnification, and it's a magnification of good, bad, or ugly. Because whatever's in you is coming
it's
out.
gonna come
you.
out. Yeah.
If I don't have the proclivity to do something, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't give a dang what dirty, again, I'm going to be honest. They are conniving producers. There are people, that, their philosophy. I've been on sets where people's like, yeah, other producers, their philosophy was like, fuck a fighter. You can't go home. But again, there has to be something in you that says, well, then,
I don't want.
we must gonna be in this motherfucker all night long then.
For real.
Right.
If that's not what I'm up for doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So reality TV scripted scenarios, again, we're not a documentary. So I have a set amount of days and a set amount of time to film with 20 people. So I have to group things together.
You gotta be.
So reality TV, I will make you have, so you not speaking to Cut not speaking to you. You feel like I'm done. The one thing reality TV will do is I'm going to make you talk to Cut probably 3 more times than you wanted to.
You hear that, Cut?
God.
We gonna have to ride it
Damn,
out,
I just
dog.
talked to, I know, but you got to go again. We got, and I'm going to make you recap. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you on vacation to places that you probably wouldn't have went on your own with a bunch of people that you wouldn't have went with. But who you are
It's gonna
and how
come
you
out.
respond
That's you.
in those situations is you.
Yeah.
So when we see these couples, like I don't want to call no names, and they're on these vacations, like, do you think that some of it is induced?
Some of it could be, but who's doing the inducing? Some of it's self-induced, some of it could be influenced. But again,
It's still you.
it's still you.
And I think that's something that we as a society, we don't want to kind of accept. We like believing that it's fake drama. We like believing, oh, okay, but the truth is.
Because let's talk about it, especially right now. Let's talk about because everyone want to act like, just because they got on TV, they started wilding out.
They've been wilding out.
I watch when I look at TikTok, Instagram, and the World Star Hip Hop and the foolishness and shenanigans that's going on for FREE. How the hell is y'all judging this reality show?
Right.
Take
That's
it back
true.
to Jerry Springer and all.
That's true.
Y'all just out
We
here
got it
acting
from
a
that.
connection.
Yeah.
Y'all out here acting a fool without a super trailer.
Yep.
For free. For free.
And then the other thing is, because again, we talked about this early off mic. We're not every person. Every person has a different response, and not every black isn't the same black. It's all different, and how people choose and respond. That's what that is. And for me, everybody has a right to have their story told.
Yeah.
Whether I would have been a page in your book or not, you have a right to tell your story. And I get a little irritated because we never scrutinize scripted to the level that we do.
Yeah.
This because. I was on a panel one time, and they was all, they like to do the good panels. The
good
state
panel.
of, black women in media. And so they brought me there, I guess, to chastise me, I think, a little bit.
Really?
How do you feel about
Come
you
on,
playing,
Taurus energy.
Yeah, how do you feel about the role that you're playing in the takedown of the black woman? So me born on May 10th, 1968.
I did it.
I am taking
You
down
taking it down.
black women across the world.
You.
Okay, got you.
How do you feel about that, though?
But I'm
When
not
they say-
taking them down.
Yeah.
right,
Oh,
when they think
I feel like you full of shit is what
That's
I
real.
feel like. Like
Right.
you're
Yeah,
not giving that.
yeah.
So during this time, it was a few years ago. So Scandal was out. I said, okay, listen, you want to be upset about how this real woman is making decisions in her real life. Loving hip hop, that is a lifestyle. Those women live that life, put up with them shenanigans. Them dudes, that is what's happening.
Yeah.
We're putting it in a can and serving it on the shelf, but that's what
it
y'all
is.
know dang on well
Yeah,
it's happening.
yeah,
You
it
can
is
just
what
watch-
it
And then
is.
nowadays you can watch Instagram and see that is what is happening. So scripted is a blank sheet of paper. Scripted. Here we go. You get a blank sheet of paper. You can write any black person you want. That woman can be any woman you want her to be. We get Olivia Pope. Now, really, that's based off a woman that was really doing her thing. But on this sheet of paper, Olivia Pope is turned into a side bitch.
Oh shit. That's true.
That's who she was.
That's who she really
She was smart and
is.
she wore good suits.
Yeah, yeah.
And her curls swang when she walked.
Yeah.
But she was somebody's son.
That's some real shit right there.
Okay.
That was some real shit.
But we wrote her. And nobody has a problem with that.
Right.
We, Twitter was lit up. That's how Black Twitter was created.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
via scandal. We on there. We talking about it. Then you go to something like, because at the time when I did the panel was around this time, Being Mary Jane was out.
My show.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Sweet Sister Mary Jane. She's a media mogul. Look at her doing her thing. Came up. But Mary Jane, from a blank sheet of paper, they decided that she could not be complete as a woman because she didn't have a man.
Yeah.
And so she was so man-starved that she was sleeping with other people's husbands and then stealing their zhuzh and putting it in the freezer.
Right. And we ain't saying nothing about that.
But that's the woman we wrote, though.
Right.
We're writing those women because those women do exist.
Yes.
And we see them, but we want to be dogmatic and judgmental about the women that,
on these reality
they are who they are. If I
Yeah.
show up on a reality show, I'm being Treiva. I'm not playing the character Treiva. I'm being Treiva.
Yeah.
And Treiva's making choices and having conversations and doing things that she shouldn't do, don't want to do again or whatever. But that is judged. But we'll sit up and eat popcorn and watch. And I loved all those shows, but my thing is, give it the same amount of scrutiny then.
Yeah, yeah.
Why then, when we write on a blank sheet of paper and we create a woman, we create this type of woman?
Why that?
Why?
Yeah.
Why? And then Being Mary Jane, and then she wants somebody else, man. Her brother was a crackhead.
Yeah.
Her niece had a bunch of baby
Then she
dads.
thinking about herself.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot of drama.
why she just couldn't be?
A successful but that's what
Why
made it
Olivia just
interesting.
couldn't solve them cases?
But we act like the drama. We try to scrutinize the drama, but the drama is the reality of our lives.
Listen, drama is nothing but stakes. It's that's at stake. Everybody has drama in their life. It's like, what at stake? Life is about getting to an island. And then the drama that we capture is, okay, we're deciding by episode 12, we're going to go here. Then I film the story of everything that got in the way of you, that could potentially derail you getting there, and everything that could potentially propel you to get there. That is what life is. You set a goal for yourself.
You're doing risk assessment of the whole
I'm just
situation.
saying, I want to retire in 5 years. That's my goal. That's
got a
my
job
goal
to
and
do.
journey. My drama will be everything that comes in the way to stop that from happening, and will be everything that helps me
Work to the favor
get to
of-
that goal. That's life. That's stakes. It's called stakes. It's up and down. Life is an ebb and
So
flow.
that's just life.
That's just life, and that's all that we're depicting. That's all that we're depicting.
Listen, we going to the next break. For the third time in a row, she left me speechless. Lord have mercy. One-on-one ticket rate. Treiva Williams in the building. We'll be back in just a second. Lord. Look, you are. and everybody in this thing. Look, I've rarely left speechless, but every time Treiva, when we get to the end and we about to go on a break, she comes to be like, pop, 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 pop. I'll be like, okay, well, we're going to go to a break then. We're just going to go ahead and move on over. So listen, for you all in all, when people say they want to do reality TV, how should they take that approach?
To be on it, you know, you have to have something to say. You have to have something you're doing. And more than your mom and them need to care about it. Then you have to have, like if you're joining a cast, if you want to join a cast that already exists, you know, it has to be 6 degrees of separation. Do you know them? Do they know you? Do y'all have a person in common? And then, again, a story to tell. Like what's your story? What are you saying? What do you want to say? What version of yourself do you want to give? And what portion during this allotted time are you putting forth? And you have to know that, and you have to be able to articulate that.
Okay.
Because if you can't tell it to me, I can't film it.
That's true. Well, let me just shoot my little shot. Let me just run that by you. No, for real, no bullshit. So there are a lot of female-owned radio stations in Atlanta. We should get along, but we don't.
Yeah.
And I think that story needs to come out for the sake of most people. You know, artists need to, you know, be more involved in radio. But I'm like, there is a market for radio that people don't realize. Some shit be going on. Some shit really be going on. Like, you would think we'd be able to work together. But I'm always like, if people understood the ins and outs of radio and the whole, there's room for everybody, yes, but everybody don't want to be at the table, and I don't want you at my table too. Like, so there's a big narrative. So if you ever decide to visit the radio, I'd be glad to talk about a few people.
I just want my own reality show. You know,
What you gonna talk about?
That kills me when people be like, I want my own reality show. Do you understand the responsibility that it would take to if you had to carry the show? You have to carry that on your back and on your shoulders.
I got a lot going on.
Wait till I call you and give you them call sheets and da 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 da. And I'm like, well, you thought you was going where? No, brother, we got to film. Because if the show is on you, if you don't show up to film, who filming?
And he always late, so that
I gotta make my entry. I gotta make it right.
cut in the cut. No, sorry.
No, but we be having some drama though. Like we fought quite a few battles. Like my life as a preacher's daughter.
Wow.
That's you know.
Where you from?
Mississippi.
Okay.
Jackson.
Come on, Jackson.
And now I'm in Atlanta. Like, what the hell am I doing here with a radio station at 36 and no damn kids and no man?
Right.
Hey.
Trying to build. Trying to build. So for all those who are listening, I don't want to say how can we get in touch with you, but what's the best way to kind of start building a reputation to where, you know, executive producers want to look out for you?
To start building to people that want to be on talent, it's like, again, putting together, I always recommend a good ensemble cast. So even if you feel like the show is about you, you still need a community that you can bounce off, right? So your connectivity, finding out, you know, if you're this type of person, then what is your group of friends doing? What's the common denominator between you all? And how do you all support each other? And what is the conflict that arises between you at the time? Again, life is about heat, heart, and humor. You know, we don't want all heat. We don't want cry all episode and laugh, but we want some levity. So it's a mixture of those. So it's just like in life, you have to build your community and have those connections and understand what that common denominator is. Then you have to decide collectively before you go and try to present yourself to anyone and anything, what are we okay with? And what portion of ourselves are we okay with showing? And what will this mean to those attached to us? And how are they feeling?
That's a real thing
about us doing it. Right. You know?
I think we just lead in. I want to show you ain't even thought about.
You ain't asked nobody. Your mama don't want her business on TV.
Right.
That's the drama right there.
Hey, who told you that?
Like you want all your business on TV.
But you know, your mama like, who asked you to talk to?
That's a lot.
Talk about my ex-3 husband. Like, who asked you for that? You
Listen,
know,
y'all
you gotta talk. You know, build your community and make sure that everybody's on one accord. And again, if you can articulate to a producer who you are and what you're about. If they take you, they're about to make you what you want to. They want you to be.
So know who you are before you even come out the gate and express that.
You got to.
Well, I'm a pimp by blood, not relation.
Come on.
Straight like that.
Straight, let me go ahead and slide in real quick. No, but this has been a phenomenal interview. Your energy is amazing. Mimi, thank you so much. Shantae, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, you are a whole move. When I do my Women Are Dope conference, I'm going to need to bring y'all on in for that because
She'll be there.
You are truly like the epitome of a media mogul, and not because of just what you do, but who you are in this business. Your character in this business, and you help women like myself, and even my DJs and my president really just see that there's a need for us to stay in position and do this marketplace ministry.
All right, and when I start my podcast is coming.
Come on, Treiva! Come on! Yeah. You know I got your back.
Yes, you coming on the show. Yes. This so we're planning to launch March 2023 for Women's Month. It's called God and Gumbo.
Listen,
and I tell everybody that's what I'm made of. That's what life is. There's nothing that God and a good hot bowl of gumbo can fix.
That's right.
And when I discuss things, I talk about everything.
Yeah,
you gonna have gumbo
God
on the show?
And everything else gumbo. Yes, I will.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm coming.
Because she's from the 9th Ward,
Yeah.
and she can cook some
The real
gumbo.
deal
I'm just curious, how often do you go home?
I go home a lot.
Okay.
I go home a lot more lately. So I'm about to be shout out. Because I'm gonna repost this. Shout out to the Sidewalk Steppers.
Shout out
Tremaine,
Sidewalk
because she
Steppers.
is the queen elect for 2023 Sidewalk Steppers for Mardi Gras season.
Oh.
So I go home a lot because we're preparing for Mardi Gras. The newly elected queen, and we present on November 6th. The ball is February the 3rd, and then the second line parade, which hosts like tens of thousand people, will be February 5th. So this year, the real BB Judy and her wife Brat were the queen and she king last year, and they will be turning the crown and the reign over to me this year.
Yeah.
I'm so New Orleans.
Yeah, I want it.
We gotta go to New Orleans.
I'm so New Orleans. Come on, baby. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, baby.
Cut any last words for us?
Nah, I love it.
Oh, no, you don't want a reality show now. Now you quiet.
Yeah.
You don't want one now.
I need to keep them quiet. Yeah.
Well, we have enjoyed you. Whenever you want to come by,
Thank you, my love.
whenever you need a release or whatever you got to do, one-on-one TKO Radio will always be a
Thank
home
you,
for
babe.
you.
I appreciate you.
With that being said, we finna get out of here. Y'all know what time it is. Lock and load. It's Friday, and we still freaking get it in. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yay!
That's amazing.
That was amazing.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in.